Ukraine's future is in NATO, the Vilnius communique declared. However, it won't be joining until it's fulfilled some unspecified conditions. The truth is, Ukraine isn't now, nor will be for the foreseeable future, eligible for NATO membership. A Ukraine inside NATO would violate the solemn vows NATO made over the years as it sought to reassure the world of its peaceful intent. Let's recall NATO was founded in 1949, long before the Warsaw Pact came into existence. Less than 4 years had elapsed since the end of World War II, so the founding members were obligated to pledge that this new military alliance wouldn't plunge the world into another catastrophe. That's Article 1 of the NATO Charter. The signatories would, quote, settle any international dispute in which they may be involved by peaceful means. Neither Ukraine nor NATO has lived up to that principle. Did NATO settle its disputes with Yugoslavia or Libya by peaceful means? Did NATO even have a dispute with either Yugoslavia or Libya? Even back in 1949, NATO's protestations of peaceful intent were less than plausible. Foreign policy thinker Walter Lippmann argued that if the West really wanted to see the USSR gone from Europe, then creating NATO was the worst possible way of achieving it. The USSR would see NATO as a threat and respond by reinforcing its presence in Europe. When, in 1955, a rearmed West Germany was inducted into NATO, the USSR reacted by creating a rival organization, the Warsaw Pact. For years, NATO insisted that it was defending the West against the Warsaw Pact. However, that claim was belied by NATO's response to the dissolution of its rival. Rather than liquidate itself, NATO doubled in size and moved its borders 1,000 miles eastward. The chief architect of this move, President Bill Clinton, has argued that he feared a, quote, Russian return to ultranationalism. If Russia chose to revert to ultranationalist imperialism, an enlarged NATO would bolster the continent's security. Though there was no evidence of any ultranationalist imperialism in the bedraggled Russia of the 1990s, NATO was rapidly drawing up expansion plans in violation of Secretary of State James Baker's pledge to Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev in February 1990 that NATO would not move 1 inch to the east. To reassure the Western public and above all Russia, NATO in 1995 published its so-called Study on Enlargement, in which it listed the conditions aspiring member states would have to meet in order to join the club. For example, states that have ethnic or external territorial disputes must settle them by peaceful means. Well, that would obviously exclude Ukraine more or less forever, unless, of course, it was ready to give up its disputed territories.